All right, and we're live with session 3 of Smugglers Gambet. It's been, unfortunately, 2 months since we've been able to play, and we're back. Last session, our players managed to make it to a planet called Obadiah out in the Outer Rim, where they're supposed to deliver this cryotube tomb to some smugglers that the only thing they've been told is it's a group called the Thomos clan. They got into a little bit of trouble on their way there. Thought they were going to be the heroes and help some people, but it turned out, it's just a big old trap. The Black Hand decided that they were going to set traps for people, as pirates tend to do. And, well, our group managed to make their way out of it by blasting the shit out of everybody and stealing a gunship in true pirate fashion, proving that, sometimes having a big group isn't what it takes to get the job done. We left off. They'd made it to Obadiah after getting into this trouble and getting out of it. They've just landed on the surface, medium-sized spaceport right in one of the major cities. Excuse me. And there's a group of, lack of a better term, there's a group of people making their way towards your ships. There's 4 droids, a small contingent of Ugnaughts, and a aging Zabrak male who approaches the ships. He stops about 30, 40 feet away from both the ships, standing in front of the ships, and he holds a comm unit up to his face and says something into it, and kind of looks over his shoulders and waves at both the ships, sort of come on out sort of thing.
So what exactly is the plan here, Gore?
We're supposed to... Do we have a shipping manifest?
I have no idea. I'm just here to help you.
The two of you are on the gunboat, so I don't think you're going to have much of a manifest or anything on there.
Get out.
Where am I at right now? Am I on the gunboat or am I somewhere else?
You and Kane are aboard your ship.
I'm kind of ready next year. I'll try to do it right now.
Jaro's dagger.
If these guys were like pirating ships leaving planet, I don't think it was the best thing to show up in one of their gunboats. Just saying.
It's too late now.
It was abandoned. What?
Are you saying we need to claim the bounty that was out for him? We have to check to see if there was a bounty out for him.
We should check to see if there was a bounty out for them. Yes. I like the way you think.
I'm learning.
So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start playing with the computers. Do I have to make a roll for that?
So you're gonna you want to check the computer systems to see if there's a bounty out for these Black Hand fellows?
Computers, it would probably be what Streetwise, right? Unfortunately, I don't have much in Streetwise, but I got something. Oh no, actually, I'd be better in Streetwise. Oh yeah, give me Streetwise.
Dude, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. No, it's gonna if you're wanting to find this out, it's gonna be Underworld.
All right, cool.
Actually, I can. Underworld. No, go ahead.
Yeah, Underworld is. Oh no, it's intelligence.
Let's see.
So I can roll. I can Underworld. I can actually remove a setback.
Ooh,
That.
You'd be great if you guys were on the same ship.
We've got a radio comm link within distance.
I'm gonna say, yeah, Underworld. Average difficulty, so 2 purple.
Tell you what, do you want to assist me at this?
Yes. I'm happy to assist you with my
Okay.
computers.
All right, I'll roll it. So it's an Underworld check.
Yep, 2 purple.
Well, I can do roll caption. There we go. What? And this is for what? And we're rolling to
Find out if there's a bounty on this Black Hand here on Obadiah.
Yeah, I'm trying to type. Okay. I like that.
Nice roll.
3 successes on the advantage for those watching. Yeah.
3 success and an advantage. All right, so you find out that there's sadly there isn't a bounty on the Black Hand. You actually find out that the Black Hand has been working with a criminal syndicate here on Obadiah to sort of corner the market.
So I'm going to go out and I'm going to start scratching off the VIN numbers and remove the license plates.
Now this criminal syndicate that they're working with is just very simply called in common or in basic, I mean not common, but in basic, is just simply called the family.
La Familia. Okay. La Costa Nostra.
Yeah.
Get it. I'm Italian. So Martin Scorsese's the head of the family. We're good. We're good.
What did you say, Sean? There was some like droids coming towards our ship, like the main ship.
Yeah, there was. Well, they're approaching both of you because you've both landed on these pads right next to each other, and there's 4 droids, probably a dozen Ugnaughts. Talking Halo earlier, now I got that in my head. Got Ugnaughts all sort of spreading out and beginning to do what they do, and a Zabrak, middle-aged Zabrak male, who's said something into a little comm pad unit, and then he sort of looks over his shoulders, and then he sort of gives the hand wave of "come on out."
Are they armed?
They do not appear to be. They all appear to be your atypical dock workers, as far as the droids, and the Ugnaughts.
Okay.
Like as they've spread out, they're getting refueling tanks and mechanics tools and stuff like that out. And the droids are standing there waiting as if they're waiting for cargo bays to open so that they can start unloading.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and step out. I'll go ahead and start walking towards the ramp. If Is my partner in the ship following me?
Unless somebody's waiting for somebody else to talk, I'll step out also, and when the droids come up, I'll tell them in using binary also. No, I'm just support ship. No cargo here. They have all cargo.
And the two droids that had begin approaching your ship, they both sort of do the half bow sort of thing and affirmative and turn and head over toward the other ship. Let's see here. Gerard, I would like for you to make an intellect check.
Anything in particular?
Well, you're just as you're exiting the ship, you're getting a clearer look at this Zabrak, and I want you to make an intellect check to see if you can remember who this is. So I'm gonna go hard difficulty, 3 purple.
Intellect check. Not perception. Intellect. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna flip one. So I'm gonna upgrade my roll. Nope, that didn't do any good.
Okay, you've got this gnawing feeling that, I mean, this guy looks really familiar. You've seen him, you've run into him somewhere, but you're not positive. You just can't place it.
Okay, who's on the dagger with me?
Gerard was, but he just exited the ship.
Oh, okay. Right, is there any way, like, I've got this kind of visual image where, you know, like a load of kind of like steam or whatever kind of comes out of the ramp, and then out of the steam I come striding down the ramp, just for effect. But if we haven't got that kind of thing, I'm gonna need Gore to kind of rig something up so every time, you know, there's some sort of like steam effect.
Got the little dry ice machine.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, dry ice. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, I'll stride down and approach the Zabrak.
Okay.
I'm going to actually use. I'm going to just try to sense the emotion on the Zabrak.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
All right. Yeah. You just can't quite read anything. There's just so much going on here and around this spaceport. You're not getting any clear readings from anybody.
Would Obadiah be somewhere where weapons are carried openly, or do I need to figure out some way to hide mine?
You could see, make an outer rim intelligence check.
Here.
Average difficulty, 2 purple.
Yep, don't know.
All right, you have no clue.
So yeah, if they're walking up, if Kane's walking up, I'm probably going to kind of flank him, kind of stay in the distance, and keep my eyes out for everything else around us.
Okay, I'm going to actually commit a force die. What that's going to end up doing is it's going to upgrade my vigilance and perception skills if it's used.
Okay.
Huh?
All All right, so you've all exited the ship. You're all approaching this Zabrek man, and he just looks completely at ease and is just standing there, arms at his side, waiting for you guys to finish coming to you. You can tell that he's attempting to not be threatening.
Okay.
You can tell that he's doing his best to just look complacent.
Okay.
Kane will approach him and just say, Captain Kane Cruz, does my reputation precede me, or was I too quick for it?
In this instance, Captain Cruz, your reputation does precede. Now, whether or not that's a good thing, I'll leave that to you to decide as you further your, how would you say, business here on Obadiah.
Okay, I'll just flash him a crooked smile and just say, well, you know, we certainly appreciate the personal welcome. Who sent you to meet us?
I have been sent by Vol Thomas, I guess you would call him a sergeant at arms of the Thomas clan.
Okay, Kane will just like glance at the others and just kind of like raise an eyebrow. So that name means nothing to me off the top of my head.
It's where we're delivering the person to.
Okay. Okay. Could he not be here in person?
He does not come out of his headquarters very often, and no offense intended, but never for anyone as low priority as yourselves.
No, none taken, I guess. Well, we've got something here that he might be interested in, so how do you want to go about this?
Well, that is easily taken care of. And he just sort of puts his hands up and claps, and all four of these droids begin to converge on your ship's cargo hold doors.
Well, as you can see, we've kept up our end of the bargain. Is there any chance that we could have a word with the illustrious Sergeant at Arms? Perhaps a personal meeting?
Oh, well, I hope you didn't get the wrong impression. There's no way you're leaving Obadiah without meeting him.
Oh, fantastic. Lead on, my good man. Lead on.
Yeah, we got to make sure this is actually the guy who is supposed to.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to pay us, isn't he?
Well, that's why we need to see the man.
And yes, indeed, if your cargo is what it's supposed to be, he has been instructed to give you the other portion of your payment.
Well, how about you have your droids check it now while we're all here, so there's no misunderstandings. And when you're satisfied that the shipment is complete, we can then proceed.
If only I could.
What's that mean?
Mr. Thomas has put out explicit orders that the case is not to be opened by any but him.
Well, you won't mind if we just escort the cargo in its entirety. We're consummate professionals. We want to make sure that there's no misunderstandings and that the shipment is delivered in full. You know, we'd hate for anything to go amiss along the way.
Your reputation again precedes you, sir. I would have it no other way.
Well, we have an understanding at least. Fantastic. To have your men proceed.
Please, follow us. He turns and begins to walk to the edge of the platform. And when he gets there, he stops and waits for the droids to catch up. And he again picks up his comm and speaks into it. And just moments after speaking into it, he speaks into it in Zabrak. A large speeder hauler pulls up. And he looks to you. He says, "Would the four of you like to sit in the passenger cabin or in the back with the cargo?"
We'll ride with the cargo if it's all the same to you. Well, as I said, we're professionals.
So it's the Zovrek that's there, right?
Do what?
So it's the Zovrek that's ushering the vehicle, or is he getting the vehicle with us, or?
He's the one who called for the vehicle to arrive, and
Okay,
he will be going with you guys into the vehicle.
Okay, I just plan on staying kind of near him, I guess you could say.
Okay, and go ahead and roll me a perception check, average difficulty. This is mainly for Giraud, but the rest of you can roll it as well if you'd like.
All right, you said perception, and I have a force die committed too.
Is there any
I
difficulty?
still cannot believe I'm doing that.
It is, let's see. Perception, let's see, that's going to be, wow, a purple and two reds, or two purple, two reds, sorry.
Oh wait, it's not what I rolled. Okay. Okay, so purple and two reds. I'm rolling on that, not what I just rolled. Okay.
Yeah, I failed miserably.
Oh geez.
Wow, okay.
I got one success and
I have a success with a despair. Oh god.
Yes, Alan, we are going to go with your first roll, since you rolled that 3 times, which was a nil. Failure for you, and
Yes, sorry. No, I clicked it on the dice roll and nothing happened. So I clicked it a bunch of times, nothing happened, and then I refreshed the page, and then I've just seen that I've made about 20 rolls. So yeah, take the first one. How did I do, by the way?
a nil.
Wash. Okay.
Better than me. Better than me. I mean, I got a success, but I got a despair.
Okay. And let's see here. Gore, you also rolled a success and advantage. All right. So let's see how to use a despair on this.
he sees a vision of his death.
Okay. You notice, Giraud, that this Zabrak keeps giving you this sideways glance as you're getting into the hauler.
Mm-hmm.
And you also happen to notice that nobody else notices except for Gore. And that begins to make you extremely uneasy. Because, like I said earlier, you have this just gut feeling in the bottom of your gut, the back of your head, whatever you want to call it, that you know this Zabrak from somewhere. You just can't pinpoint it. And this look he keeps giving you makes you uneasy. Not necessarily bad uneasy, not uneasy as in he's going to do something. Just it makes the feeling of, I know this person, why don't I remember him, worse than it was. And then seeing Gore notice this look that he keeps giving you makes that feeling even worse. It's about the best way I can think to use a despair in this instance.
Okay.
I'm going to say you take 3 strain.
All right. Let me go ahead and
But as you guys are making your way onto this hauler, he's sort of stands there and waits, and the droids get on with the container. Core climbs on, Caden climbs on, or Raken climbs on, sorry. And that's when Giraud goes to get on. You get this look from him. He climbs on, and Gore climbs on behind everybody at the last, and that's sort of when you notice that he's noticed what's going on. And the hauler begins to drive off. The Zabrak goes up and sits in the very front of the cab, or the cargo area, sort of as if the container were a long business table type of thing. He goes and sits at the front of the cab at the head of the container, while the droids are all standing around it, leaving the 4 of you standing at the rear end of the cargo hold. And he just sort of puts his feet up and looks to the 4 of you, and he says, make yourselves comfortable. We will have about a half of an hour's worth of a transport here.
Kane just goes, all right then, and just promptly falls asleep. Not a care in the world.
So we're just in this room?
Yeah, think of it as being in the trailer of a semi.
Okay.
It's just a large cargo hauler.
But it's locked?
The back end has got sort of like a half tailgate sort of back into it. So the bottom half of the back end's closed off and armored, and the top half's all open and visible outside.
Yeah, I want to look around, just be observant.
Okay. Now you're passing through it. Looks like your atypical space port on a world that is very jungle-esque. Like you're right at the edge of the jungle. It's humid, it's hot, it's sticky. It's everything a fun night would be if there were women involved.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name is Venik Rin. And go ahead, Gerald, and make a underworld check now that he's said his name. And it's 1 purple, 1 red. Damn.
Well, I'm going to take my strain back.
Okay.
What do you get for the audience?
Failure and 3 advantages.
Yep, failure 3 advantages. So you fail to recognize the name, but the fact that he has shared his name and that you're now in most people would get nervous in an enclosed space, but you're now in an enclosed area where nobody can see you from outside, so you're a little bit calmer, so you're not as stressed as you were just a few minutes ago. Gore does continue to keep giving you these strange looks and looking back and forth between the two of you when nobody's looking at Gore. But
I have a thought, but I just don't think I'm going to say it.
Do you work directly for Vol, or did he hire you to bring the cargo to him?
Sadly, I do a lot more work for Vol than I'd like. It started out as just being, how would you would say, an indentured servant to the Thomas clan, but as of late, I have been working for Vol a lot more than I would like.
You know most of the goings on here on Obadiah?
Lots of smuggling. It is a good place for things to disappear, for people to disappear, for illicit products to be purchased. It is outside of the Empire's eye.
Who would be the person we talk to if we're looking for somebody in particular?
That depends, really. If you're looking for a woman, there is a certain place you would go look. If you're looking for a criminal, you would want to go and check with the bounty boards. Who or what type of person are you looking for?
So I look at Kane, who's fast asleep.
He's got like his cowboy hat pulled down, and he's kind of got his arms folded across his chest, and his his chin's resting on his chest.
I'm just gonna tap him on the shoulder and kind of like poking him to try and wake him up.
Oh, Twilight Dancers. What?
It's not Twilight Dancers. Who's the gentleman we're supposed to find?
Oh, Tycho Quadrix. Kane opens his eyes sleepily. What, you got a lead on him?
I don't know. I'm asking questions.
Make me a perceptions check. Hard difficulty. When he says the name Tycho Quadrix.
Who's making that? Oh, never mind.
You all can if you'd like, but basically Ray can more than any.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just woken up.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
No, 3, right?
Yes, 3 difficulty.
You got that many dice?
I froze. Does anybody see what I wrote?
You rolled 1 success and 2 threats, which is going to garner you 2 strain.
Okay.
You're getting a little agitated with all the things that you keep noticing and keep seeing, and yet you are keeping your mouth shut, and that's what's getting you agitated. It's kind of like a little kid who knows what his brother or sister is getting for their birthday, and you just really want to say it, but you know you should really keep your mouth shut at this moment. So you're just sort of sitting over there, sort of bouncing your legs and chewing on your lip or whatnot.
Wrong answer. Discipline.
Okay, yeah. If you want to, you can roll a discipline.
Oh, that's
average difficulty.
Oh, come on.
Because like I said, you know you should keep your mouth shut, but do you?
Boom. Does anybody see what's trying?
Success and a threat. So were you rolling to see if you kept your mouth shut or to see if you said something?
Oh, no. See, if I kept my mouth shut, I could say anything I want.
All right. So you got a success. You're capable of keeping your mouth shut, but you gain another strain for it.
More specifically, what I'm rolling for discipline for, I could choose to speak or not speak.
Yeah.
But to not show discipline is to maintain your military bearing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're not looking too agitated, but internally you're just boiling.
Oh, I do know
Okay.
who this guy is.
Well, you notice that when the name Tycho Quadrix is mentioned, that this Venic Ren, this Zabrek man, he sort of tenses a little bit. Actually, quite a bit, but
Luco. I don't say that.
Yeah, so we're looking for him, just to see, if we can find him. Or I need to give him something. I have a shipment on the ship, some stuff, But yeah, if you have any information, I'm not good at this.
Okay, I've got something. Just so I can try and figure out who this guy is. I'm going to try and roll a perception check so that I can determine what his class and everything is. Like what's not his skills, his skill tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he a smuggler? Is he a bounty hunter? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So let's see. What were you wanting to roll? What were you wanting to use to roll to figure that out?
Oh, perception.
Perception.
I want to know what his career is and what his secondary career is, so to speak. Like which tree he's following. So, just give me a difficulty for that.
Let's see.
I mean, unless he's got like skullduggery and he wants to roll against me, that shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. Like unless he's trying to protect his identity.
We're gonna go with hard 3 purple.
I can't see it's freaking rolled.
3 successes.
3 successes, sweet.
So you.
Okay, I can see his stuff now.
He's got a. Well, for one, he's a liaison. I'd say is his career. I mean, he's. It's not a book type of career, but I mean, it's. God, what is it in the book?
Ambassador? Diplomat?
Diplomat, ambassador of sorts. He's a liaison between the clan and outsiders.
Okay.
But on top of that, his secondary, I'm going to say you can tell he's got a secret.
Okay, so hide something. Does he look like he can handle himself in a physical fight? And what kind of weapon does it look like he's carrying on him?
Well, with that perceptions check, I'm going to say you notice a little bulge in the side of one of his boots that he's probably got a holdout blaster. But aside from that, he does he looks like he can handle himself about as well as Girodi does.
Oh, so he sucks. I'm joking. So that means he's actually kind of good at what he does. Shit. Okay. How about it's just a holdout blaster, but wouldn't that be fun? You know what? I want to try and steal his holdout blaster.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, I'm still talking. I am not good at trying to get information out of people because I don't interrogate people. I'm not distracting him. I'm just literally talking because Reagan is like that's not who he is. He's very straightforward. So he's like, yeah, like we're just looking for him for the stuff we have on the ship, because I don't want to give any information away, but I'm giving everything away because I can't. I'm not good at lying. So,
Actually, something I just kind of, just something that crossed my mind. The Zobrek's name? You said, what was his name one more time?
Venik Ren.
Venik Ren.
Venik. Last name Ren. Rin.
Ren. Rin. Okay. Because it's like he seems to have a kind of funny. He has a Mandalorian clan name as his last name, although I think it's spelled different.
Yeah, Ren is in the clan. Ren is Wren.
Yeah.
Let's see. To steal his. Let's see. That's.
Happy.
2 purple, 2 red.
2 purple, 2 red.
Yep. He's got a cunning of 4 and a perception skill of 2.
So he gets all of that? Okay, fine. I'm a midget. I want bonuses.
I'm going to give you a bonus because Raken is continuing to talk with him. Even though he's not trying to be a distraction, he is being a bit of a distraction.
Plus, I'm at pubic hair height, so it's barely even a shift to the side to reach this thing. Come on now.
Well, he's sitting down with his feet up in front of him, kind of like Kane has been sleeping, but he's just not sleeping. So, yeah, you are only hip height to him, but considering he's sitting down and got his feet up out in front of him.
Oh, come on. Well, then I'll wait for it. I'll wait till a more opportune moment.
Okay. But yeah, you're asking him about this Tycho Quadrix. Actually, you know what? I will give you an extra bonus or an extra boost because he's not only sidetracked with talking, but he's sidetracked with this name. Okay, go.
So while Gore's trying to he's looking with itchy fingers at the man's boot, I'll just be like, Tycho Quadrix, do you know anything about him, or does your boss know anything about him?
I'm sure Vol knows more than I do, but...
Well, that's great, but let's start with what you know. You seem to bristle when I mentioned his name.
All right, I rolled. I did 2 failures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 advantage.
Oh,
jeez. All right.
Okay.
So
I guess he wasn't distracted that much. Yeah?
I'm gonna act like I fell.
Oh, whatever. He was very distracted. It's just he didn't catch you trying to steal it. You just didn't get it or something like that. Because I gave you a lot of advantages.
Yeah, so as you're attempting to go over and steal this thing, you are attempting to make it look as if you've stumbled and are going to stumble into him type of thing.
Like hold my nose.
Well,
I don't
just
know
as...
if we actually have noses, but I'm going to pretend we have a nose.
Just as you're about to stumble into his leg and make your grab, he just sort of pulls his feet back and lets you stumble across into the other wheel, the other bench along the other side, and you nail face first, bam, and he just puts his feet back up, and he continues speaking, and he says, he says, yes, this the Tycho Quadrix, he's my boss. Yes, he would know much more about him than I do, but I can tell you that he is tied in deeply with the family here on Obadiah, and from what I understand, he's got ties with many other organizations throughout the galaxy.
Is his name popular right now, or is he been making waves. You know, I mean, how's this standing with you guys?
With the Thomas clan, they don't do a whole lot of dealing with the Black Hand.
Why, is there a reason for that? Have you guys had a disagreement?
While my boss can be short-tempered and violent at times, he pales in comparison to Tycho Quadrix.
Wow, so you sound like you're a little afraid of him. Would that be a fair assumption?
Weary.
Okay. Oh, thanks very much.
His reputation far exceeds him.
Even more than my own?
You are not in the same galaxy, sir.
There's only one galaxy, right?
Well, you threw that at me like a rock. I've got feelings, man.
I apologize, but it's the truth.
Okay. Well, we'll see what your boss has to say.
You have a reputation of being quick to draw and a bit of a ladies' man in your own eyes, whereas Quadrix has a reputation of skinning people alive when he doesn't get the answers he likes.
Okay, well, that's fine. I know where I stand.
But all of this goes on and takes place over about your half-hour drive, and you've noticed while watching outside that you've gone from being inside the busy port to being just inside the edge of the forest, and the truck slows to a stop. You can hear some men outside the shit or outside the truck, and a couple of guys come walking around to the back. One human, one Rhodian, both dressed in heavy clothing, trench coat type of stuff, and they both carrying large carbine blasters. Look up into the back of the truck, and Venick gives them a wave, and they tap on the side of the truck. They give a good slap, each one of them on each side of it, and the truck begins to pull forward again. And as it pulls forward, you pull into a compound. The big gates close behind you. And again, the truck rides for just maybe a minute or so deeper into this compound before it comes to a stop. And at that point, Venick stands up and he says, "We've made our destination, gentlemen. If you would follow me."
Lead the way, friend Venick, lead the way. And I'll hop down at the truck.
Well, step out of the vehicle.
Okay, and let's see here.
How is their base organized?
It looks like a old industrial type of complex. It doesn't look like it was a military type of base. It looks like an old refinery type of thing. It's 4 or 5 different big buildings, all inside of this duracreted wall.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have any real defenses or anything to the place other than the 15-foot high duracrete wall that surrounds the buildings.
Are there any people in the courtyard type thing?
You see a few different vehicles. You see probably half a dozen to anywhere from 6 to 10 people walking around, not counting the 2 guards that are standing at the gate. So if you count them, it's anywhere from 8 to 12 people milling about from building to building.
Are they all wearing any kind of identifying insignia? Not like a uniform as such, but are they all wearing different stuff and just look like a motley crew assembled?
They're all wearing different stuff, but it all is of the same color.
What color is that?
It's all blacks and reds.
Okay.
And they're all varying races. The only one that's not wearing black and red is Venick. He's wearing sort of a dark brown, so like robes, but they're like almost like silk. They're a very fine make. Like I said, he's got the look and the air of like an ambassador or an envoy of sorts. But he leads you through and in between a couple of buildings, and he takes you into this large 3-story building. It looks like was probably this facility's office building at one point in time.
Yeah, nice little setup you've got here.
One of many.
Maybe I should look to get something like this for my own HQ at some point. I really need to look into that.
This facility in particular is Vol's personal facility. It is one of many that the Thomas clan run.
Does it look kind of luxurious from the outside, or does it look just kind of like just standard kind of?
From the outside, it looks like your standard industrial complex sort of look. A lot of rain stains and such from being at the edge of the forest and stuff on the Duracrete. You can tell that it is well maintained. Now, when you walk through the doors into this main building, the inside of the building is completely opposite of the outside. The inside is lavish, very high end. Everything's like highly polished. It's got a marble floor that you can see your own reflection in. The banisters and stuff that go up stairwells are like polished titanium. I mean, they just shine.
Yeah, just looking around, Kane nods approvingly. Okay.
But Venick walks you in, and you can see inside this main lobby that is most of the first floor is all this big wide open lobby. At the far end, there's this large desk with 4 or 5 women sitting behind it. There's probably another half dozen men walking around in here, again, all dressed in various clothing, but all black with red trims and such.
Okay, Kane kind of gravitates towards the ladies behind the desk. Just says, "Hi, Captain Kane Cruz here to see Volo. I believe he's expecting me." And gives him a smile.
Venick steps up to you and puts his hand on your shoulder and then pulls it back real quick, like, may not have done, probably shouldn't have done that, but too late. He says, "Sir, it's this way. you're to be following me, remember?
Okay, ladies, I'll take coffee, cream and sugar. I'll be with Venick. You know where we are, and then I'll start following Venick again.
Yeah. And as you say that, he just sort of nods at the ladies, like, "Yes, get him his drinks." And he heads over to one of the stairways. He says, "We will meet with Vol upstairs in his office. Your container is being taken to the holding bay in the back of the building. We will be going to it shortly."
Okay, lead the way, my good man. I say compliments to Vol for such a fine establishment.
He tries to make things look nice and civilized. But as you guys make it to the top of the steps, there's no perception or anything needed. You can hear this wet sort of smack, like fist hitting meat. Just this repeated thump, whack, thump, thump, thump. There's like somebody beating on somebody. And Venick, he just sort of looks at the four of you. He says, "Please, through this door here."
Is that where the sound of the meat getting slaps coming from?
No, it's coming from behind him and in another doorway.
Okay. Are there any cries of pain, or is it just the sound of something getting beaten?
Occasionally, you can hear a grunt and a short cry of pain.
Okay, Kane will just kind of like gulp and stay alert, fellas. Lead the way, Venick. Just kind of like walk towards the door. I'll let him go first, though.
Yeah, he steps up to the door, and as he steps up to it, it slides open, and he steps inside and just sort of puts his hand out, and there's a big desk and some chairs and stuff set in front of the desk. And he says, "Please have a seat, and I will go let Mr. Thomas know that you are here."
Okay, can I make a perception check just to make sure that, you know, that they're not suspicious about the room, or does anything catch my eye? Like, I guess it's just like a waiting room or something, or an office. But
you can make a perception check, yeah. Average difficulty.
All right, cool. 1 second.
I'm going to do the same thing, actually.
Okay. And I actually need to make one myself, so that's
Average difficulty.
And you guys are all being perceptive at the moment, so
Why is that rolling twice?
Yeah, it is.
It's the same roll, but it's just printed it twice.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me try to resend that dice app one more time, okay? It's acting kind of funky. Whoops. Hold on, I'm gonna resend that thing to you guys.
All right, cool.
See if this fixes anything. Okay, go and try that one. Do you remember how many light side points we had?
4 and 2.
yeah, 4 and 2. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So you rolled a failure, correct?
I think I rolled a success, didn't I? A couple of successes and a threat.
I had 3 successes.
All right. So both of you rolled successes. I rolled 2 successes and a triumph.
Okay.
Okay. Were you making a perception check as well, were you?
A deception check.
Oh, okay.
The two of you are making your perceptions checks and checking out this office, and it looks like your average businessman's office. You do, however, notice that there are cameras that are tried to be hidden, but you've managed to pick them out right off the bat. My deception roll is the factor that as the four of you come walking in, he sort of bumps into Giraud, and as he bumps into Giraud, he puts something in your hand.
Okay.
And then he steps out of the room like he said he was going to.
Is that all we're gonna that we were supposed to be looking for, or like should I make a perception check also?
I don't
Well,
like this.
He just asked if he could make one to find out whether this was an office, what it was, type of thing. I mean, if you want to make one because you're looking for something specific, go right ahead, and I'll tell you if it's...
Okay, then I would like to look for traps, like a Sarlacc pit or whatever, a Rancor pit.
All right,
I think we're already in the pit.
So kind of like the Simpsons Monty Burns, where he's got the trap door at the foot of the desk type of thing.
Yeah, if he's got like lasers that are going to come out the door or something like that. If there's a hidden passage someplace, you pull a book. Cool.
Yeah. Average difficulty.
Well, you said there's cameras all over the place, right?
Yes, there are multiple hidden cameras. The two of you have managed to spot a total of 6 hidden cameras in the room.
Okay, is there any kind of... Are they all facing one way, or are they in each corner? Have they got the entire room covered?
It looks as if they've got the entire room covered.
All right. What I'm going to do kind of a deception check. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to read the note. I know I'm being filmed on camera. I'm going to try to read the note, but I'm going to try to do it in a way to where like I'm pulling out a data pad to look at something. But at the same time, read the note I just got handed to me.
Okay. Deception check.
Yes, I'm trying to hide the fact I'm actually reading a note that he handed me in the way of like, okay, I'm looking at something else, but reading the note.
Meanwhile, I rolled 3 successes. That's it for my perception check.
All right, your perception check. I'm sorry. You, like everyone else, you spot the cameras, but because you're looking for traps and things like that, on top of just looking to see if it's an office or whatnot, you do spot multiple weapons that are in like holdout type positions, like things that are strapped under shelves or under the desk or at the back of a table, stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Now for your deceptions check, let's see, I'm going to say that's 1 purple, 1 red, and a black setback. The red is because cameras everywhere. The black setback is because your partners here are all looking around to try and spot things, so you're trying to hide it from them as well. So 1 purple, 1 red, 1 black.
Oh, geez. I'm not able.
I see him.
With all the advantages, do you want to hide the fact from the camera and be seen by your partners, or do you want to have the camera see it but not your partners?
I don't want the camera to see it. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay, so the camera manages not to see this, but your partners here, they all notice that you've got this thing and you've pulled it out and you're looking at it, and it says in, let's see, it's an old dialect, something from your youth, and it just in basic it would say run, but it's not written in basic. It's written in an ancient dialect, something that you would have seen quite a bit in your youth.
Hmm.
Something you would have seen in the temples and such.
Oh. Okay. So I'm wondering if we should. I'm just. Man, we got cameras all over the place too.
I don't like this. This is something's wrong here. This should not have been this easy. We haven't even met anybody. We didn't deliver the body anywhere.
Feeling about this.
And as the four of you are sitting there feeling uneasy with all the cameras, all the stashed weapons and such, this human male walks through the doorway, and it opens with a hiss, and you see Venick right behind him, sort of head bowed in submission sort of deal. And this guy doesn't look like he could be much older than 26, 27 years old. But he carries himself in such a manner that, I mean, if you know the old saying of don't screw with an old man in the profession that most die young.
Okay.
He carries himself in this same sort of manner.
Like quietly confident, kind of exuding power or authority or confidence.
A little bit of everything. I mean, he's carries himself in extreme confidence. He exudes power and has this sort of aura of intimidation around him.
Like old man, young man, old soldier. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a bit of a badass. I don't need a perception roll to figure that out.
But he walks into the room and he just simply looks at the four of you, and he turns directly to you, Kane, and he says, "Captain."
Venick, I assume. Volo, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Vol, yes. I would prefer you would call me Mr. Thomas. I don't feel we're quite on the first name basis as of yet, but yes, that is my name.
Forgive me, Mr. Thomas, it was a long flight.
All's forgiven. This time.
Fantastic. Well, down to business. We've brought something for you that your men have. We saw it all the way here. It's intact and in its entirety. So, if we can get to business with the checking of the shipment,
by all means, we can get down to business. But my man here and my droids have confirmed that the case seems to be what it's supposed to be.
Thought nobody else was supposed to check it.
Nobody else is supposed to open it.
Oh.
No. Checking it, I mean, they've looked at it, they've scanned it, it seems to be what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So on a cursory check of just visual, all is well. But dealing with Garacus and his employees, I didn't expect anything else.
yeah, Kane looks a little bit uncomfortable at the mention of Gracchus's name, but he's just like,
We're not delivering this for Gracchus at all. We're delivering this for Volo, aren't we?
Kane will look at no. This is Volo. This is Mr. Volo Thomas. Remember?
No, the boss.
I am Vol Thomas. Volo was the Aqualish dirtbag who was sort of the middleman's middleman.
Again, apologies. It was a long journey, and I'll give like a theatrical bow.
That was the gentleman that you didn't bow, that you said not the boss. If you don't remember him.
No apologies needed. Mr. Garakis never made contact with the four of you. It was all done through Volo. As I said, the middleman's middleman. We all have underlings who do our business, and when he says this, he looks directly at Venick.
Well, can I say it's a privilege to finally meet the organ grinder and not the monkey?
Oh, you certainly have a way with your words.
Got another theatric bow. Anyway, to business. If that's acceptable with you.
He was so subservient in this one, Alan. I remember the last mission, you were trying to get us into trouble.
I just glanced down like, just
don't have anyone. What do you call him, boss? This guy, you're bowing to him, dude.
Well, obviously this guy carries some weight. It's like when he walked in, it was like, okay.
Next time you come in here, you bring your spit shine box, boy.
I'll kind of like try and like tread on Gore's toes, just like a little foot stamp.
I tell you.
He's sitting here at his desk, and he's sort of looks back and forth over the four of you. And he says, yes, we can get down to business. But it's sort of company policy to not have too many outsiders see the behind the scenes elements of what we do here. So you, Captain, and one of your men may come with me down to the holding area to see what is in this case, to make sure everything is as it should be, while the other two will wait here with Mr. Venick.
Okay. Raykin, would you like to come with me?
I'll push Kev over, or Ken, so that he's sitting down also.
Oh, Raykin's already field dressing his blaster rifle because he does not feel comfortable here at all. He wants to make sure everything's working.
You begin field dressing your rifle?
Well, I'm currently cleaning the pistol. The rifle is ready for next.
All right.
Kane just kind of like shakes his head and he's like, "Don't all of you volunteer at once?"
You see,
I'll go if you need me to go.
You see, Vol. He takes notice of you messing with your firearms, and he goes from having both arms sitting on top of the desk to one under the desk.
I'm just cleaning them.
I'm going to make it look even cooler, and I'm going to pull out like just a clunky piece of whatever and start working on cleaning and repairing that. It's like not a firearm, obviously. It's like a little like a little light buzzer for a droid.
I'm with you if you need me, Kane. I'm with you if you need me.
Yeah, Ray, you can clean that later, perhaps, huh? Kind of like gives like a wide-eyed kind of "let's go" kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes,
Gore, try
sir,
not
Captain.
Go try not to get in any trouble. Keep your hands to yourself, huh? And yeah, I was like, I'll say to who's the guy? Volok.
Well, so there's only one person can go down with them to the cargo.
Yes, he's going to take 2 down to the cargo, and 2 will stay here with Mr. Venick.
Mr. Venick. Because Raykin, let's go. Venick, if you can get an update on that coffee, that'd be great. Ready when you are, Mr. Tomas.
I presume you want to go, Jarodi. Are you going to?
One of them.
You guys spoke over the top of each other. I don't think either one of you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm thinking about one of the two that goes down. So
It's you, dude.
Okay.
It's totally
So,
you.
like, Raken, yeah, Raken was going to go, but are you going to, is, like, your character going to say anything, or?
I'll be like, I'll go.
Yeah, you and I are the most perceptive people here, so one of the perception people should go, and I'll stick around with my battle buddy here. Like we're literally like Master Blaster from.
Kane's just stood by the door waiting for these two to like sort it out.
Just go,
And-
Jody. You're fine. Get out of here.
And while you're trying to figure all this out, Vol is still sitting at his desk, but there's a knock at the door. And he hits a button on the top of his desk. The door comes open, and it's one of the ladies from downstairs. She's carrying a tray with like a thermos type of thing on there with a bunch of mugs. And says, the calf that I was asked to bring.
Fantastic. Thank you. I just set it down on the desk. That'll be fine, love.
And she just sort of looks at you like, yeah, you're not the boss. And Vol waves at the table next to the door, and she just takes like one step in, sets it on the table next to the door, and then turns around and steps out.
Kane throws her a wink as she walks out, as she walks past them.
Yeah, she just completely just shuts you down, just completely ignores it.
I'll turn around to Raken and go, yeah, she likes me.
But,
Wait a second. Did you even say anything to her? I'm confused.
But Vol at this point stands up, and when he does, he pulls out from underneath the desk this massive, heavily modified heavy blaster pistol and slides it into a holster at his hip and says, "So, it is you, Captain, and you, sir, are," and he holds out a hand for it to be shaken.
I say, Jody, shake hand, and okay.
It's good to meet you as well, sir. Please follow me. The two of you, please stay here with Mr. Vennick, and we will be back soon. And he steps out of the room, and the two of you, I'm assuming, follow. The door slides shut, and that's where we're going to split the party for just a few. And as Rennick and Gore are left sitting in the office with a distressed Vennick Wren, he quickly goes about pouring some of this calf and offering it out to the two of you. Gore shakes his head and waves one away. Rennick shakes his head and
a little Capri Sun juice box and just.
And he goes ahead and he's got both these cups and he just starts drinking from one of them. And he's
So I look at Gore and I press the button on the desk that Thomas pressed. Does the door open?
No.
Okay, so we're locked in here. I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Mr. Vennick looks at you, or Vennick, not Mr. Vennick. Vol calls him Mr. Vennick. But Vennick looks at you and he says, "Oh, you're not locked in." He says, "It's just that the doors are all biometric. They only open for those who have clearance and that are a member of the clan."
As I said, locked. So Gore, you gonna figure out how to mess with these cameras or what?
You say that in front of this dude?
Raken, like right now, like Raken is going, something's wrong. He doesn't know what it is, and he probably will not ever figure it out what's wrong. but he is just like freaking out.
Maybe it's the best, you know?
Yeah, Raken looks at you, or Venick looks at you, and he's messing with the cameras would not be wise. He says,
What would be wise right now?
says the room is under constant visual surveillance.
That's what I
Says,
thought. There's no auditory surveillance, is there?
only when Mr. Vole is seated in that chair.
That's when there is audio surveillance?
Yes.
That's what okay, that figures.
Does he
Anytime.
have more than one blaster pistol under the desk? Because that thing looked awesome.
Under the desk? No.
On him.
He has multiple blasters in the room.
I'll actually start, without making visual cues, I'll actually start, pointing out where they all are. Yeah, there's actually one over here, there's one over there, there's one up there. That book over there, it's not really a book, that's a blaster, dude. It's totally and just like that's good. They're not their serial numbers, but they're nomenclature numbers. So with my perception, I'm sure that I was able to see that note. Was I able to understand the dialect?
Make me an education check.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's going to be 3 purple.
Oh, come on. 5.
Well, it's one of those things that is mostly only seen in temples. There are other places that you can find it, but
So a success and a, what's that one called?
threat. But I'm going to give you a strain.
Okay.
You were able to read it. It was one word: run.
Yep. So this is no auditory in here, and nobody can see my mouth because I'm a Jawa. Like and he's the one who wrote that, who passed that note to him, right?
Yes.
Like so. Why did you tell Gerard to run?
I told no one to do anything.
Come on, man. You passed him the note. The note said run. Some like really old dialect of basic, like
For 5 minutes, I'm like,
yeah, what's up, danger?
can I explain why?
This
I'm like,
endeavor of yours is not likely to end well. And I know Mr. Giraud from many years ago.
You owe you money? Because he looks like the type of guy who owes people money.
Gore's not wrong.
I'm sure he owes me plenty of things, and if he were to have taken my advice, he would owe me a lot more.
Now explain this endeavor that we're currently on.
Yeah, because we're just doing a drop-off. Is there something more here?
As I said, Gore, I don't like this.
I can't speak of it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything as of yet. So far, I can't speak of it.
I hear
Can you pass notes? You've done it before.
You guys can attempt to make coercion, negotiation.
Coercion, not a good idea.
I don't have any. No. So, like as I said, social counter's not my thing. So literally,
you guys can attempt to coerce more out of him, but as of right now, he's clamming up and looks extremely nervous.
So he looks nervous.
Yes. When you start asking about this endeavor and what's this and why is this, he just starts getting a little nervous and he's clammed up. Yeah, I've said too much already.
Does this endeavor involve you for some reason? Because you're getting, the more we ask, the crazier, the more you're freaking out.
You know what? Okay, here's what I want to do. This guy is a diplomat ambassador, and I'm going to try and convey that to him that I understand that. And I'm going to say, listen, oh, wait, sorry, I just have to check to see if I actually have what I thought that I had. What is it? Streetwise, yes, okay, I've got it. It's not a career, but I've got a point in it. Okay, so I'm going to try and use my streetwise. This guy, like, obviously he's a diplomat or an ambassador of some sort, but he's clearly, street level. He's not like going to meet Palpatine or something like that. He'd be meeting Jabba. So I'm going to try and use my. So I'm going to try and use my streetwise and try and get this guy just to give me something. Even if it's like a street thieves' cant, you know what I'm talking about, from like Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry about the noise in the background.
Of course. I'm also going to indicate, look, we can be friends. I don't know if you were friendly or not with, what's his face? With Gerard, but I'm a friendly face. And if you need a friend on the outside, saying like, I'll owe you one.
I'm not going to make a check for it. I mean, that was well argued just verbally. So he kind of looks at you and says, like I said, I've already said too much, but this whole thing is in the house's favor.
So they're looking to not pay us, so to speak. Are we going to see our friends again?
It's not a guarantee that everyone walks out.
Well, all right.
We are smugglers and pirates. That's pretty much a guarantee in anything we do.
As this is the truth, like I said, this particular endeavor is more heavily set in the house's favor than your average contract or contact meeting.
Does he seem like someone who we can actually trust?
Is what?
Does he seem like someone who we can actually trust?
Make a perceptions check.
Back to perception. Okay. With?
Average difficulty, 2 purple.
3 successes.
You can tell that he is being completely forthright and open as he can be.
Okay. Is your life in danger? Are you looking to get out?
My life is always in danger here.
You may have noticed we've got 2 ships. I pass him a juice box.
Reagan looks sad.
Brana weep ninny bong. If anybody remembers the old Transformers, the movie.
He's just, my life is always in danger here, and I feel now that it is more in danger than it has been in a long time.
And that has something to do with us?
I think
with this deal in general. Yeah. And that's where the screen sort of fades away for a moment. We come back, and just as Vol and Kane and Giraud come walking through a set of doors that slide open into a holding area in the back. And you see the four droids. You see another half dozen men all working on various things here in this back holding area. And the droids are all posted up around your container. Now, these are the same droids that you saw earlier. Only one thing has changed. You see that each one of them's right arm has sort of like split down the middle and like expanded and has this massive barrel sticking out as if they had hidden rifles in their arms the whole time. And each one of them standing there with the arm up like this, like they're on guard duty around this case.
All right.
Well, Mr. Tomas, here's the shipment that you requested. You should find it all to your satisfaction.
Yes, and now we get to see if what's supposed to be is inside is inside.
Well, I can assure you that we didn't open it. We haven't tampered with it. We brought it as is. So, you know, we can't vouch for what was supposed to be in it. We were just asked to bring it. Can I just say something? You seem like a very cautious man.
You don't make it as far in the business that I'm in without a measure of caution.
Well, of course, but I would like to suggest that, you know, maybe you should, you know, take a keener interest in the people that you surround yourself with. I know people, and that Venick, I don't know, man. There's something about that guy that's off. Just an observation. I may be wrong, but, you know.
Replaced it with a couple of Twinkie wrappers. That's great. All right. Having said that out loud, I need to read what was just written in our chat here. Is it a bad time to mention that I removed the body and replaced it with a couple of old Twinkie wrappers? Perfect. All right. But he says, I'm a good read on people as well. And thank you for shutting that off. I'm a good read on people as well. And while Mr. Venick has his issues, he has always been loyal.
Hey, that's great. I was just you know, sharing what I got from him. But you know, you're a cautious man. You're a successful man. I'm sure you know exactly how to take care of your business.
I thank you for your query and your worry.
No problem. Anyway, let's open this up. Let's see what you ordered.
Yes, let's. And he holds an arm out. He says, please, go and open it.
Okay. Is there a crowbar? What's it sealed with? Is it like a keypad? Or is it like a wooden crate that requires a crowbar?
It's a solid canister type of container. Now you've seen cryo tubes and stuff like that before. They're extremely old. It's not a technology that's really used anymore. And most of the time, they do have a seam where the two halves open. But this one has been used as a tomb. It also doesn't have a window on it, like most cryotubes have a window on them so you can see inside. So this one is completely solid on the outside. It doesn't have a window on it to see inside. And where it used to open, the hinges have been slagged to where they're solid. The seam has been welded and ground shut, ground down, and all that, to where it's just this solid capsule. It does have an old digital panel on it that you would have been able to put a code in to open it, but it has no seams.
Huh. Do you, Mr. Thomas, do you know how to open this thing? It looks like it's been sealed shut pretty well. Which, again, is just further evidence that, you know, there's been no tamper on our behalf.
It's a mystery, really. This is, most of these capsules, when they're used as tombs, they are sealed, but not in this fashion.
Well, I'm at a loss as how do you expect me to open it? We were just told to deliver it. That's all. Our responsibility ends there. It's here. We've done our job, right? We want to get paid. But obviously, you know, we need to know that you're satisfied that we've done our job.
And while you're speaking to him there, he looks over at one of the other guys that's working, and he sort of snaps his fingers, and he points it off into the corner. And the guy goes over and grabs this thing and comes back over, and it's kind of like almost like a Hydra spanner type of thing, like you see Chewbacca use multiple times in the older movies. And he says, "Here," hands it to you. He says, "That will be sufficient to cut through the material in order to open the canister."
And you sure you want us to open it? And that you don't want one of your guys to open it?
Oh, I know what is supposed to be in there, but I don't know what is in there. And I would rather risk your life than risk mine or any of my men's.
Well, I hope you appreciate this. Gerard, do you want to open it?
So I'm no mechanic. Actually, I'm going to do a real quick perception check. So first of all, he's right in front there. There's the 4 droids that have blasters as arms now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see.
And 6 other men in the area.
6 other men, but they seem to be working on stuff, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
So in total, there's the 2 of you and then 11 others.
All right. And this is just like a work area of some sort or something like that?
That's what it appears to be.
Okay.
If it puts you in mind of a futuristic sort of chop shop.
Gotcha. All right, tell you what, I'm not going to roll the perception at all. I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop the, because I've been keeping the commit going. But I'm going to try and influence.
Oh, Ken just dropped from us.
What?
Ken just dropped. So at that, nope, it looks like he's back.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to drop the commit dice I've been using, and I'm going to try to do an influence power on Vol, I think you said his name was.
Mm-hmm.
And because they said, well, you can open it. I'm going to be kind of like, I'm basically what I'm going to say is, probably use an influence on him, force power. And my
Okay.
thing, and the one I'm going to do is just kind of a, no, this is good enough. This is good enough. In other words, I'm just trying to use the influence. Say we don't have to open it. Why didn't I roll? Did you guys see a roll from me?
Mm-mm.
Bet you did. It was a light side point.
Was light side? Okay, I did not see it.
Yeah, it's not showing up on mine either.
This thing is acting up.
Yeah, just refresh the page. It should come up.
Yep, I see it now. So, how did that go?
Well, you got your light side point. So he sort of gets this look about him of turmoil, I guess you could say. Like he knows he should be opening this thing or having you open it, but he just sort of, well, I suppose you guys are trustworthy. Tell you what, this can wait.
Very good. Thank you.
And as he says that, and as you say very well, thank you, let's take a quick couple of minute break. I've got to use the restroom and get something to drink.
Okay.
Cool.
And we'll come right back to that here in just a moment. All right. And we're back. At least I'm back.
Everybody here, or do we have a few more minutes?
You can take a couple more minutes if you need to.
All right.
Yo.
I'm not ready to go outside.
This thing just does not want to work for me.
I didn't do nothing.
All right. So,
Yeah.
just as he's saying that you don't need to worry about opening it, that he can trust you.
Actually,
and listen.
Real quick, recommit that force towards vigilance and perception.
Okay, you're going to recommit that?
Yeah, recommit it at this point. Since I used it, well, yeah, I'm going to recommit it at this point. I feel I might need it.
Well, yes and no, because as soon as if it was set on a timer, as soon as he says, I think you guys can be trusted and this and that we don't need to open this, you hear and feel this massive explosion from outside. And you hear it's so loud it sounds like it happens right outside the wall of the outside of the building. And it's such a heavy explosion, like you can feel the ground shake and stuff falls off of shelves, and the capsule even like tips a little bit off of what it's sitting on. And the 6 guys that are in here, they take off running out of the room, not in a panic, but as if they're on mission type of thing. And Vol looks at the two of you and, still sort of under the effects of your sway, says, we need to get back upstairs.
Yeah, I think so. That didn't sound healthy. Let's go. Let's make sure Gore and Raken are okay.
So the 3 of you go to head that direction.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna look over. I'm really tempted to pull the sword, so. But what's he done? Does he have a weapon on him? And is he kind of? He's have a weapon on him. And is he still holstered?
He's still got his pistols in their holsters, because he's got the one in the holster on his right hip that he took out from underneath the table. But when he says that we need to get upstairs, he takes his coat and he sort of throws it back. And when he does, you see that not only does he have the one on his right hip, but he's got another on his left.
Okay. All right. Well, it's one of those. He didn't draw, so that tells me right now if I pull a sword, that might get him to pull a pistol. So I'm not going to pull the sword.
Okay.
But I'm going to wait for him to pull before I do.
All right. Yeah. The three of you begin to head back toward the way you came.
Is he leading the way, or are we?
Yes.
He's leading the way. Okay.
He leads the way over to the main door. It opens, and he sort of ushers you guys out, like you've got to get out of this room. And at that, as you guys are sort of sliding past him, going through the doorway into the hallway that you were in earlier, that's when we're going to skip back to the upstairs office for a moment. And
what the F was that?
Yeah, the three of you are still sitting up here, and you're talking about how bad this is likely to go, and this and that. And as you're having this conversation, you hear and feel the explosion from outside. Venek begins to get this panicked look, but not a panicked look like this was unexpected, just that it wasn't supposed to happen yet sort of look.
Like, what's up, dude? I asked him, what's up, dude?
This has been coming for a while. I just didn't expect it yet.
You beg the question.
We need to get out of here.
Well, you're a member here, right? Can you thumbprint that thing and open the door?
He walks over. As you're saying that, he's heading for the doorway, and there's a thumb pad type of thing right next to the door, and he just places a hand up next to it, and the door whooshes open. And you can see outside there's all these different guys running up and down the hallway, all of them carrying different blaster rifles and pistols and such. And some of them are heading toward the lobby, some of them are heading further into the building. And just moments later, like the three of you haven't actually left the room yet. Venek sort of got a hand out stopping you from leaving the room yet. And just as he starts to head out into the hallway, he looks to the right, back toward the lobby, looks back to the left, and starts to head out into the hallway. And as he does, he looks back to the left again, and that's when Vol, Kane, and Jarod come not running, but quickly walking down the hallway.
Just keep walking.
And Vol, as he approaches the three of you exiting the room, he gets this really hostile sort of voice and demeanor. Venek, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be leaving that office. Where are you going? And you can see Venick sort of like he wants to bolt, but at the same time he begins to sort of cow down, but doesn't say anything.
This guy's an absolute pussy. Okay. Useless. Well, it's been nice knowing him. I'm like, what was that noise? Are we being attacked?
Yeah, likely. You heard the explosion. You see my men running around, and
I also just got out here. I was stuck in a room. I was in a room. There was a room. Walls.
yeah, that there was. So, you can stick around for your payment, or you can leave. It's up to you.
For the payment, are there walls to defend or something like that? What kind of castle is this?
You saw this as you came in. This isn't a castle of any sort. This is just simply a place of business. This is, my men will do what they can to fend off whoever or whatever this is. Aside from that, you're on your own. My men will not step in to save you if you're shot at.
Well, Mr. Tomas, it seems like you've got some big problem to deal with here, but we got to get paid and we'll get out of your way. How about that? You authorize a credit transfer?
He steps into his office and you can see he digs around in his desk, and he comes back out a few moments later and he's got the Star Wars equivalent of a thumb drive.
Okay.
I know there's a term for it, but I can't think of what it is offhand.
Credits.
Yes.
And he hands it to you, and he says, "This is yours." Now, again,
By the cred chip real quick to make sure it's actually the proper amount. Yes.
he just hands it to you, and he's continues. He doesn't stop.
That's right. But I want to check the right amount.
From what you can tell with a quick check, it looks like it would be a transfer disc.
Yeah. No, I want to use my reader and actually check to make sure it's the proper amount.
Okay. You scan it, and it shows up as 1,000 credits.
And what were we waiting for?
A lot more than that.
We're expecting a lot more than that, right?
Yes. You were expecting about 4 times as much.
Dude. I'm not going to scream out that you treated us, but dude.
Like, look, do you guys want to hang around there and quibble over a couple of 1,000 credits? It sounds like hell's about to like rain down on this place. I think we should just get out of here while we still got the legs to carry us.
Being who I am totally looking to see anything that's not bolted down that looks like it's worth a little penny. Yeah, that slice of pizza, that looks like it's worth something. I'm going to try and pocket that.
Yeah, a garlic parmesan chicken and bacon. It's fantastic.
You know what? I'm going to do. Oh, man. So he's kind of looking around the room trying to find stuff. I know we're being shot at. I mean, we're being bombarded.
Yeah, as you guys begin looking around for other things, there's another explosion. You begin hearing gunshots that are coming from out in the lobby.
I'm actually going to do something real quick. I'm going to shut my commit commit die off. I'm going to do a real quick seek because something tells me there might be something here. I'm going to use a seek power.
Okay.
And where is it? I need to find it real quick. Where's seek? There's seek. Basic power. Lost or forgotten. Lead something lost or forgotten. Basically, I'm sensing, because this might be something he might have. I want. I'm gonna try to sense if he's got a kyber crystal in this room somewhere, and I just got 2 light sights. That's enough to pull it off.
You can tell that they're along the back wall of his office. It's the one whole wall is like shelves.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that that's a facade, and there is something behind there.
Okay, I go ahead and I go behind there and I try to see what I can see, or try to see what's there.
All right. The book that Gore pointed out earlier as having a gun in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the typical atypical book. Oh, I pull the book out and this door opens. I mean, it's actually sort of the opposite. I mean, it's really low tech, but in the time frame and society and all that you're in, low tech is sometimes the best, because everyone's looking for the high tech, and it's the opposite. Instead of pulling the book out, you push the book in.
Yeah.
And the shelf and everything just raises right up off the floor, and it's a vault. There are piles of loose coin credits. There's all sorts of different types of tech laying around. Some of the stuff that's in here is stuff that Gore has never even actually seen. They're like prototype type things. And there's
a Jawa masturbate, because he's going to start doing that right now.
And there's a few things on the back wall. There's like this display case.
Mm-hmm.
And in it are what, at quick glance, look like saber hilts.
Saber hilts? How many?
There are 3 in the display case. 2 of which look like they are heavily damaged. 1 looks like it is in pristine condition.
Okay. I'm wondering if you're going to let me do this.
Okay, Kane, just while this is going on, Kane's like kind of stood by the door with his blaster drawn. And he's like, come on, guys, let's... Ooh. He stops mid-sentence when he sees what like they've uncovered. All thoughts of fleeing being replaced by greed.
Reagan finishes his sentence. We need to move.
But I'm gonna see if you're gonna allow for this or not. I will flip a destiny point and say one of those has a kyber crystal in it.
I'm going to say that go ahead and flip your destiny point.
All right.
And all 3 of them have crystals.
Oh, perfect. I'm grabbing all 3.
But one of them is a crate crystal.
Two of which are damaged.
Okay. But I'll grab all 3 hilts. I mean, I can probably, being I'm not a mechanic, I can... But I'm grabbing all 3 of the hilts, and I'm just putting those in my belt.
So I'm personally going to try and get what money I can and what cool loot I can. If there's any kind of a, are there uniforms in here by chance?
Uniforms, as in what? To where you
uniforms, the black and red uniforms.
Nobody's in actual uniforms. It's just random clothing. It's just everybody's wearing black and red.
Okay. If there's anything there with black and red, I'm gonna throw it at those guys. I'm a Jawa. Screw them. But yeah, like literally, just throw it at them. Throw these on, and then just try and grab what I possibly can in like another cloak. turn around, tie off the pantaloon legs of some pants, throw some stuff in there, and then just let's start booking.
Okay, question real quick. Can I tell if the one that's undamaged, is that actually a workable lightsaber from what I can tell? I try to activate it real quick. Or do I know enough?
Well, I've already said it was in pristine condition, so yeah, it works.
Okay. Well, I'm taking the two that are damaged. I'm putting those in the in my backpack. I'm taking the third, and I'm keeping it on my belt where I can draw it if needed. And then,
okay.
And I guess now we're going to start going out the door, getting out of here.
Yeah.
All right. It is just your very most utter basic saber. So.
Okay.
As he's leaving, I grab the back of his pants, pull him forward, stuff some things in the pocket, and then push him in the same direction he was going. And yeah, let's start looking for some kind of a vehicle outside so we can hightail it.
Actually, I tell what's his is Vex still in there in the what's his name, Ren? Is Ren still in the room with us, or
he's standing at the door with Kane?
Okay, I'm like. I look at him. I go, "Thanks for trying to warn us. Thanks for trying to warn us. You're welcome to come with us."
He looks at you and he says, "My work here isn't quite complete." He says, "But you should know that this is something that was recently set into motion. I believe by you." And he turns around and walks away.
I'll shout after him. Who do you really work for, Vanek?
He just keeps walking.
Your mama.
And as you guys are standing there in this doorway, having just done all this stuff, you can see a few of Vol's men at the top of the stairs. They're firing down into the.
Actually, I'm actually pushing the button so the vault actually closes back up again.
Okay. You can see a few of Vol's men. They're standing at the top of the stairs and they're firing down into the lobby. And one of them takes a slug to the face. Like, I mean, the back of his head just explodes. Blood sprays all over the ceiling and such, and he just drops and tumbles down the steps.
That's not a good way.
Huh?
That's not a good way to go. I'm reworking my escape plan right now. Like, I'm sure they've got a fire escape plan on the wall, right? Like any good school.
No.
On my way.
The only other way that you would know, or any of you would know that was the way out, would be Kane and Sherrod would know their way back to the hold, and it had a big like garage set of doors that opened up.
Really? Thanks for telling us, guys. So let's go back up that way.
Let's go. Let's go. We've filled your pockets. Now let's go.
Okay, we're going.
All right. So the four of you begin heading your way back toward the hold. And as you're heading down the hallway toward the stairwell that takes you down to where you needed to go, there's other branching hallways that you pass. And each hallway you pass, there's guys fighting in there. There are gunshots going off, blaster shots. As you're passing by, you see a sign that most people don't want to see. Well, not really a sign, but you see something that most people don't want to see. And that is a group of heavily armed and heavily armored men. Like you're passing down this one hallway, and there's the gunfire, boom, 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 and all the guys in black and red, they're just dropping, and you see 4 guys, heavily armed, heavily armored, with T-visors, and they're heading your direction.
Run.
Like we're a target?
They haven't fired yet, but blasters are raised and at the ready.
Dude, we're smugglers. Let's get out of here. We look just like
Yeah.
these humans to these guys. Do I see any insignia on them to determine who they are?
No. Their armor, they're clearly Mandalorian, but their armor is reminiscent of the Old Republic in the factor that they're wearing all black undersuits. Their armor is all white. And instead of the T-visor coming completely down to where the lens comes all the way down to the bottom of the helmet, it only comes down a part of the way, and then the helmet comes across.
So run faster.
So, or do we have to get through them to get out, or do we have, or how's that?
This particular group, no.
Okay.
Like I said, this is you're almost to the stairwell that you need to be in. It's like this hallway is the hallway you're looking down dead ends in the hallway that you're on.
Look, they're probably here for that dude, the half Mandalorian, half Jedi guy. So, like, let's get them. Work out of Dodge, man.
Oh yeah, that's my point. Unless we want to grab the no. If we grab the sarcophagus and take it with us, and we're really going to be wanted.
Possibly. Are there any vehicles in the garage?
We need to get to the garage first, right?
The area that Kane and Gerard were in earlier was only like one small corner of the area. So they didn't see any right there, but there could possibly be something in there.
Let's go in and look.
Yeah, Kane's already making his way down the stairs or away from the dudes who are heavily armored.
Kane said, "Fuck it, I'm out." While you guys are standing here looking in awe at these guys, I'm out.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, we need to get out of Dodge.
I'm way ahead of you guys. In fact, Gerard, I'm telling you, dude, go take that nifty open over there and open a corner of that garage door and see if there are bad guys outside there. If we blow it, then it's going to be a scene. If we open it, then everybody can come in. But if you just like poke a little peephole, you can see if we got company outside. And
All right, well, you're not quite to the garage yet. You're heading down the stairwell. As you open the door into the garage,
Mhm.
there is a firefight in process. You can see daylight streaming in from the far end of the garage hold, like around the corner type of thing. Like this whole big garage is this big L-shaped type of room. And when you first open the door, there's a bunch of guys in black and red right in front of you. And they're shooting out toward where this light is coming from. A couple of them turn around and look at the four of you, and you hear one of them, you shout, "You don't belong here." And he turns with his blaster raised.
I scream at him, "You idiot! You've got your job, we've got ours!"
And at this point, we get initiative.
I actually never did say I never said I pulled the put the force die commit on there. So are we using vigilance or cool?
Cool. And you may not have necessarily expected for his men to turn on you, but I mean, it's a firefight all around you everywhere you go. So you're kind of expecting to eventually have to shoot. Let's see. So, All right, so they are not.
Whoops! I got to forget the force time.
I'm spending some strain, so mine is 4 and 1.
Okay. And roll. And I got, let's see, that one's 2 successes. And that one is a success and 2 advantages. So that's, let's see here. Wow. All right. The only one I'm not seeing a roll for is Kane.
What am I rolling? Cool.
Cool, dude.
Yes, cool.
Oh, okay. Well, just assume that I got a triumph. It's the coolest motherfucker you know. Right, hang on one sec. Let me find my character. I've got about 6 windows open for all of this. Cool. Ah, there we go. Oh, dear Lord. There's my dice roll there. Kane's cool. Ooh.
Kane's cool. Ooh.
Well, for 2 greens, 2 successes and an advantage, I'll take it.
All right. So we've got PC, NPC group.
How many are there?
NPC group and PC. There's a total of 3 groups of 4 in this room, but only 2 of them have made notice of you at the moment.
Are 2 groups firing at us, or just one?
Potentially.
So right now it's 1 group firing at us, the other one is not.
Right now it is 1 group that has turned and got blasters aimed in your direction, and 1 group that has made notice of you but still firing in the other direction at this point in time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a shot at one of them. Pull out my.
Actually, hold on. Let me try to go. Actually, let me go first on this one.
And do what?
You'll see.
I don't trust you'll see.
Trust me, you'll see.
Is it a whatchamacallit, an incidental? Can I just shout, whoa, we're not the enemy, we're Mr. Tomas's business associates?
Yeah, it's incidental. You don't have to. It doesn't take your turn or anything to speak.
The group that's aiming at us. I'm rolling my influence on them, and saying, "You're aiming at the wrong guys. Aim at them." I don't know how many that'll be interested in listening, but using the influence, that's the mind of one base. Basically, I'm sending the signal to one of them because I can't really send it to the entire group. Not that strong yet.
All right, so yeah, one of them turns and ignores the 4 of you and goes back to shooting at the guys at the door. But I mean, there's still 4 more in the group.
You mean 3?
Or 3 more in the group.
Okay, well that's one we don't have to worry about.
But yeah, so
well, I was kind of hoping the others might kind of do the same.
Well, they're still got their blasters leveled at you at the moment.
Okay. Now you guys can do what you want to do.
Was there any reaction when I shouted out that we're business associates of Mr. Tomas? and not the bad guys?
One of the guys, like the one guy turns and goes back there, and he sort of looks over at this guy, and you shout that, and he looks back over at you again, and this happened when you showed up, and he looks like he's about ready to pull the trigger.
I'm going to take a shot at one of them. What do I need? What's my,
They're I'm going to say it's short range, so it's let's see, 1 purple.
Can I use a carbine, a long range carbine on them?
Yeah.
All right, and that's it. Just 1 purple.
Yep.
Boom! So I got 4 successes and an advantage, and I do 9 points of damage.
All right, so 9 points of damage. And let's see, they had
9, or is it a 9-point weapon?
9-point weapon.
Okay,
right,
so
so
got
you
4.
actually-
Yeah, 4. That's 13.
you'd actually add 3 because the 1 is taken up by making it a successful hit. But either way, that's still 12 points of damage. So let's see, that's boom. So that's still. All right. So yeah, you drop one of them, and like the shot goes like you clip the guy right in the collar, and he crumples, but the shot is powerful enough from your carbine that it goes straight through him and into the shoulder of one of the other guys that's like right behind him. All right, so that's 2 down. We got 1 more PC that can go.
Good.
Okay. I'm going to take aim and open up. It's still the 1 purple difficulty.
Yeah, you're at short range.
Okay.
So 1 success, 3 advantages. So
Okay.
you do hit. What do you do with your advantages?
Pass on a boost die to the next person that goes is one of them. And then 2, I already aimed. So give them a setback die.
Okay. All right. So how much damage do you deal?
That is 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage?
Yes.
All right. So we... All right. So yeah, you drop one and wound another one as well. And then it is their turn. And the 2 that are remaining in this first group, the one reaches over and slaps the one that you had been distracted to go back to shooting the others, and hollers at the other group that they've got people coming in from behind, and they both begin taking wild shots in your directions. So that's, let's see.
Okay.
And they are actually going to take a shot at the captain, at Kane.
The guy who's the only one who hasn't fired a shot and has tried to talk his way out of it. Yeah.
Yes, but you also have this air of being the one in charge.
This is true. I can understand that.
And anybody who knows anything is saying, hey, you take out the guy in charge, the rest crumble type of thing. Plus, they've all got quick strike, which means that they get a boost by attacking someone who hasn't gone in this encounter. So let's see. That's ranged lights. That's boom, boom, 2 greens. Oh, nope, there's 2 of them left. So get rid of one of those greens, add another yellow. It's a purple. They get a setback dice, plus they get a boost dice. So that's 1 green, 2 yellows, 1 purple, 1 black, 1 red. Or 1 blue, I mean, not red. Ouch. Success, threat, triumph.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, wait, that's right. You're not rolling on ours. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, it's still not letting me.
To work, yeah.
Yeah, I'll test it out again here. Yeah, see, it's not even letting me add dice or do anything to it anymore. I'm seeing you guys' rolls, but it's just not letting me do anything with it.
Give me the good news, Sean.
So that is because they're using blaster carbines. 9 points of damage.
Minus my soak.
Minus your soak.
Ouch.
And that triumph. Where's my critical table? I'm going to use that to make it a critical hit. So clear that. Roll a D100. Got a 27.
That'll do.
Wow, is it windy somewhere over there?
Oh, so I've got a little fan on me. My apologies.
Discouraging wound. Flip 1 light side destiny point to dark side destiny point. Wow. Ooh.
Don't spend them all at once.
I want to recover so that way I can. There we go.
For the record, that hurt like a mofo.
As I've stated multiple times, hide behind me.
I'm waiting for my action. I haven't gone yet. I've just kind of stood there like a dickhead going, oh, guys, we're not the bad guys.
And that's the first group. The second group begins taking shots. And this time they fire at Rickon. So that's they don't get any boosts, they don't get any setbacks. It's just that and 1 purple. So
I have a ranged defensive 1.
You do.
So do I. Would that take a damage off?
Well, damn.
Oh, can I just take a minus a point of damage?
Well,
I'll
if
see.
you roll
I'll
the
see.
failure, you won't get the crit.
I'll give you 2 points of wounds back.
Okay.
Next time, say something ahead of time.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
And you've got, what did you say, 1 or 2 points of defense? Raken.
1. I think I did a 1 range defense.
Okay. I think he froze up again.
That's all right. Makes it for an easier target.
Yeah. Well, just 1 coming back any messages. All right. Well, that is 1 success and 3 advantages. Which the 3 advantages, I can crit on 3. So I'm going to crit. So that's 9 points of damage before soak. And another fucking discouraging wound.
Wow.
which just takes away one of your light side points. Which, isn't great, but it's not bad because it gives less for you to use. And more for me to use and make things mean.
Okay, what did I get?
9 points of damage and 1 crit for a discouraging wound.
Again? Or what's discouraging?
It's I flip one light side point to a dark side.
Okay.
Or vice versa if you were to crit and roll that.
Okay.
And that brings us back to
Alan.
No, it's Captain Kane's turn.
Yeah.
Finally.
Okay, so is there any kind of cover?
We're on the stairs.
Right now you're standing in the doorway. You just walked in the doorway. There, 15 feet in front of you is the container you guys brought in. There's random tables and workbenches and stuff all around, easily that you could get to within one range band.
Okay, so when I get shot, I'm gonna kind of scream in pain and just kind of the momentum of getting shot. I'm gonna try and use it to get behind some sort of desk or just something to give me some cover as a movement.
Okay. Like I said, there's multiple workbenches in here. You could easily, I'll even let you tip one on its side as a freebie.
There you go.
As in, you get hit and it knocks you into it type of thing and it tips over.
Okay, well I'm gonna scramble behind it and then poke up from the back with. Where did I get shot? Can I choose? Left arm or left shoulder or something?
Yeah, I'll let you choose this time.
Okay. Well, yeah, with my good hand, I'm gonna kind of the guy who shot me. I'm gonna give him the good news because I'm pretty peeved.
Okay.
All right. So I need to roll a ranged light, which is that.
Angle that band somewhere else, please.
Oh, guys, it's you've no idea what an Asian summer is like. It's ridiculous. Right. I've turned it off, so I'll just sit here and sweat into my shorts.
Well, turn it back on whenever you're not on the mic.
What difficulty? Just one purple, short range?
Short range, one purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bam. Oh, there it is. 3 successes and an advantage.
Nice.
And I didn't use the advantage that was gifted earlier, but that's no problem. Wouldn't make a difference anyway. That, sir, will be 9 points of damage on kill setting, not stun.
All right, so that manages to drop your first NPC group.
Okay.
So you nail the guy who shoots you, and knee-jerk reaction, he squeezes the trigger again as he's falling and shoots the guy next to him, who was already badly wounded from when Raken shot the other one and him.
Okay, I'm going to kind of slump down behind the table and grab my shoulder, going, ah!
All right, and that now brings us back to the top of the round where we have 3 PCs, 1 NPC group, and then another PC. You have totally decimated one of the NPC groups. There is still 4 of them with blasters trained on you guys now. There's still 3 of the other group firing at the intruders or other intruders.
So I'm thinking it's time for a stun grenade. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. And they're within short range, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I just roll my agility?
A ranged light.
I was going to say, I think it's a ranged light attack.
Yeah. I was doing Star Wars for the last 2 days. I've got this down now.
So
12 hours worth.
just my agility. So what? Just one purple again?
Yes, just the one purple.
All right, and chow. Doesn't show me anything, so refresh.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 2 successes, 2 advantages. Ooh, shakalaka.
All right. So you do activate your blast, or you can if you choose to with the 2.
I think do it.
He squeaks out the yo. So stun grenade, blast, 8.
8 damage. Yep, and it's on blast. Page 160.
Yeah, I got it here on my handy dandy GM screen.
Sweet.
So yeah, 8 damage, short range, disorient 3, so they're out for 3 rounds. Blast 8, so that means you can hit up to 8. There happens to be 7 of them all clustered together there. So they are all disoriented for 3 rounds.
Let's go, ladies.
So what's happening now? Are we all of a sudden getting attacked by the other group?
No, at the moment, you guys, you lob this out there. The 7 of them, they all sort of wobble for a minute and then fall over, stunned. And I mean, they're conscious, but they're just out of it, type of thing. And you see more of these heavily armored Mandos come walking in with armor reminiscent of the Old Republic Mando type of thing.
Mandalorians?
Well, like I said, it's your traditional Mandalorian style armor, but the helmets are reminiscent of commandos.
They're not interested in us. I hope.
At the moment, they're just sort of they come walking up, and they put blaster bolts in all 7 of these guys that are down on the ground. They don't hesitate for nothing, and they swing rifles in your direction, but they haven't fired yet.
Actually, I call out to them and actually using the Mandalorian language, saying we have no argument with you.
And one of them steps forward, he lowers his weapons. All the rest of them, there's 5 more of them. They've all still got their blaster rifles leveled. The one steps forward, lowers his rifle, and he says, "Then holster your weapons."
I've had no weapons out this whole time. But I look back at the other gentleman. He said, "Holster your weapons. Just we don't want this fight." I know what you're here for.
Then where is it?
We're in that garage still, right? It's there.
Yeah,
I basically point to it. I go,
Right.
"That's it right there."
He points to 4 of his men and points to it. They break off and go to grab after it. And one of the others steps up to the Mando that has lowered his weapon, and he sort of elbows him and points at Raken.
Okay.
And he sort of leans in like he's saying something to the other one, but you can't hear anything that's being said. The one that's put his weapons down steps forward a couple of steps, and in basic, name and rank.
To me.
To Reagan.
No, to Raken.
Rankin?
Yep.
ARC Trooper 3421, sir.
He turns and looks back at the other one, and again, by body language, you can tell that they're saying something to each other, but you can't hear it. It's through helmet comms. And the one that initially stepped up and elbowed the other one, he takes off his helmet, and it's like looking in a mirror. And he just nods at you, and he says, number 5553, 407 Battalion.
Raken is kind of just taken aback, kind of standing there, very much not really doing anything. Kind of nods back at him and goes, "You guys better get out of here if you want to, if you don't want to cause a scene on their escape."
Says this rabble's nothing. We'll put them down easier than we ever put down clankers.
There's droids around here somewhere that look pretty deadly.
There's actually 4 droids that have they look like mechanic droids, but they are armed, so don't be fooled by it.
He sort of looks at you, Gerard, and he smiles, and he looks back at Raken, and he says, "Don't worry, droids are our specialty."
Roger, Roger.
He goes to put his helmet back on, and just as he's sliding his helmet back on, like his eyes are covered, but he says, "It's good to see more of us made it out." And he slides his helmet back on, slaps the shoulder of the initial Mandalorian who appears to be their commander, and they make their way out with the capsule. Now it's just the 4 of you standing here. You can still hear gunshots all around, and you do see a rather primitive transport, but it's a transport nonetheless. It looks kind of like your modern day Jeep. It's a wheeled transport rather than a hover transport like most vehicles.
I'm going to give Raken an appraising look for like a split second and then run over and hotwire the sucker.
Kane pulls himself up from behind the overturned table with a grunt. Raken, you didn't tell me you had a twin brother.
He's not my twin.
Well, you certainly could have fooled me. You certainly looked alike. Anyway, go. How's that transport coming? I've got to get this shoulder looked at.
Can you guys bring him over?
I'm hauling him over.
All right, we good?
Yeah, you've managed to get this thing hotwired. It's for you. It's beyond simple.
Cool. Have what you call it? Turn as they throw Alan Kane into the back seat. I'll turn around and poke him with a stim pack. Give him back. What is it? 5 hit points at first.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And then just like holster it, and then what do you call it? Let's drive out of here.
All right. If you're the one sitting in the driver's seat, you're not going to reach the pedals.
Oh, enough. Listen, man. I come prepared. I got a phone book and I've got like extenders on my feet. Like I sit on my hubcap, the Captain America shield.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So yeah, you gun it, and
Let's get back to
this thing.
Get back to our ships and get out of here.
This thing lurches into full speed. As you guys come tearing out of this garage, you can see that it's still a full-out firefight all around you, or all around. And there are far more of these commandos than there are of Vol's men. And they are just mopping up the area. But let's see here. There is a sniper. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna make that a hard and add a setback because you're a moving target who takes a shot at.
Oh my God, you killed Kenny.
Let's see here. I'm gonna roll a D4 here so I can choose who he fires at. So that's from left to right on my screen. Kane 1, Gerard 2, Raken 3, and Gore is 4. So,
This, a small
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
So
I just knew it was coming to me. That's cool, man. Hit me.
I've
I've got range defense of 1.
All right. So let's see. That's boom. I said that was hard. It's 2 setback because of your rage defense. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
2 successes, a threat, and a triumph.
What is it with triumphs tonight, man? You've been saving these up.
So let's see here. That's ouch. Okay.
They know I'm the leader. They got to take me out.
That's 10 damage.
Minus soak.
Minus your soak.
Okay.
Plus the triumph, I'm going to say, is that this thing clips you right in the side of the head. And it may not kill you, but it knocks you out cold. And you actually fall out of the Jeep as they're speeding off.
Oh, man.
Now, the question is, do you guys stop or do you keep going?
There is no you guys. I'm driving. So,
because I mean, all you hear, you hear blaster fire all over the place, and all of a sudden you hear this wet thunk, and
what'd you get for not wearing your safety belt, Alan? What do you call it? I'm going to keep going to a degree and turn to Kevin. Are you able to, force suck him into the car?
I can't do that.
Okay.
Guys, what would Kane want you to do? He'd want you to keep going.
No, no, it's. I was like when I noticed first. I mean, when I noticed he falls out of the Jeep, I'm going to jump out and jump out to get him.
Cool. So to Raken, I'm like, cover fire, please. And I'm going to spin around. And I'm going to try and make it so that, what do you call it? No, I guess I can't. This is not a real vehicle. Like a speeder?
Yeah, it's a wheeled vehicle.
Fuck, you never see those. I've never seen one of those in Star Wars. Here's a freaking real vehicle. Okay, cool. So, pull up broadside to the because there's no dangerous components there, to where the sniper had fired, and scream out, "Hurry up, get him in!" And I hold up my shield.
Okay.
So do I have to do an athletics check on this or not?
Yeah, I would like for you to do an athletics because you're going to try and haul him up into the vehicle.
All right.
So, and this sniper is continuing to fire. So I'm going to say that's let's see. Flip a point there. I'm going to say that's 1 purple, 1 red, and 2 setback because you're under fire.
Okay. All right, I'm going to wait. I get to remove a setback.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll this, and I'm going to add either a success or an advantage depending on the roll. So that's the force ability. Oh, it's not going to do any freaking good.
All right. What'd you roll? It's not showing me.
Oh, fail. Straight up fail. But I'll just say that the force ability was an advantage, and that way I'm passing a boost off to whoever's doing something next. But yeah, I can't get him back in.
Okay. What do you call it? Raken, can you grab it? Like, Raken's ridiculously strong. He should get this no problem. Toss me your gun. I grab his gun and just start.
All right.
Again, just cover fire.
Raken just messaged the group saying, "Looks like I'm having some major internet issues." So I guess he froze up again.
Okay. In that case, he's going to continue laying down cover fire. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to take my stim gun and put it right between Alan's eyes and just pow!
So
another 5 points right to the brain.
All right.
Give a quick little nut check. Boom! Get in the car.
He groggily becomes coherent, but is extremely
Alan.
God, what's the term here? Incapacitated, I guess. He's not quite in control of his motor functions.
That's fine. I give him a little towel for his mouth as he's drooling and guide him back in the car because I'm not pushing anybody with my one brawn. I'm like, get back in the car, get back in the car, get back in the car. I give him another little shot in the ass. Come on, get back in the car. Jump in, rev it, gun it, boom, we out.
Kane's just like wandering around punch drunk. Oh, it's just like raging around that we ain't got a clue.
So were you able to get him back in the vehicle? You go going?
Yeah, you managed to get him back in the car. A couple really close shots. I mean, like, for instance, as Giroud is standing up and getting back in himself, like just as he stands up, right next to his head on the side of this vehicle, dent shows up from the sand. Just bing, as a blaster bolt nails it to a little burn and dent, and all that shows up right like an inch from where his head was. And the same with Gore as he's hopping in the driver's seat, and he goes to push down the pedal again. The steering wheel gets hit, and there's a chunk of the steering wheel missing. And you guys manage to get everybody back in this thing, and you're taking off. And after a few minutes, the pings and zings of shots, they die out and it gets quiet again. And it takes you guys, because you're hauling ass rather than just driving along slowly in a container, it only takes you about 15 minutes to get back to the port rather than 30 minutes to get there. But you get back and your ships are both sitting there. They've been refueled, and any minor inconvenience on the outside has been being worked on and such. There's Ugnots all over the place.
I'm screaming to the droid, "Start the engines!"
Well, that's the thing. One of us is going to wait. So the captain normally flies one of these things. Is he in any shape to fly right now? I don't think so.
No, he.
Quadrix. I got Quadrix.
He's not in any shape to be piloting
He's collapsing.
the dagger.
Well, we throw him in. I give him another stim shot to the balls because, damn it. And then I jump in and I captain the damn ship.
Quadrix.
So wait a second. You get him in. You drag him into the ship. So does that mean? Okay. So I guess I'm with the other guy, and I hope he can fly. I don't know. My agility score's not good. What?
We can't take both ships. We only got 2 people who know how to fly because you didn't want to take any kind of space travel stuff. So,
well, my ability's only 2.
Uh-huh.
My space. I mean, I can fly, just not to the degree you guys can.
Yeah. You can't. Don't start that. So what do you call it? Do I need a piloting or anything like? Are we actually or is this just regular? Let's just fly away.
Well, I'm not gonna. You're not gonna have to make any piloting checks to get off the ground, because I mean you're not in any serious distress at the moment. But I do want you to make. Where are you flying to? I mean, obviously up and out, but you're gonna make a jump to go anywhere? What?
Yeah, we
Where do we want to go? I would say let's find a place a little bit remote where we can sit down and discuss a few things before we decide what the hell we're going to do, because now we got trouble.
Is there difficulty to this or no for my astrogation?
Well, where are you going?
Let's just get in whatever the closest shipping lane is and just cruise in hyperspace.
All right. One purple, one red astrogation check.
One red. Can I get some help from the droid?
No, he's a doctor and a bartender.
Okay, somebody else made a bartender. Somebody else decided the frick was us. Okay, fine. This is not going to go good. Nope.
All right, again, it's dice roller's not working for me. What is it? Would you roll?
I got a failure. Just one fail.
All right. You do manage to get into hyperspace.
Not the lane we
but
want.
You're not headed in the direction you wanted. Most people who want to find somewhere to lay low for a minute head further into the outer rim, and you would have been wanting to get into a space hyperlane that takes you there. This, however, is a hyperlane that takes you into the core. And that is going to be the end of our session.
Okay.
So
Did anyone read chat?
Yeah, but you didn't fall out. I'm not letting the damn thing open.
No, seriously.
Okay.
Well, thanks. Was all you could get
Oh
out
shit!
of it.
I saw that. He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay in the freaking thing.
You're in the cockpit, mate. You're in the cockpit. You won't know what I was doing.
First off, I've got complete control of the ship from the cockpit, dude. So, no, override. You can't mess with the shower.
Well, I get final say, and I'm going to say it happens.
What happens?
Fine. Somebody get on Gunner and shoot him.
We'll talk about it offline. Talk about it offline.
You got a plan that nobody knew about, and yeah, everybody's playing their own game.
But
No
as
one
far
told
as
Noah.
as far as tonight goes, that's where our session ends, with you guys jumping into hyperspace and making it away from Obadiah, just not heading in the direction that you initially wanted to go, but getting away. And as for anybody who decides to watch this later, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope my players enjoyed playing. And we will be back again next month. See you then.